Welcome to the ISIS in the Bible Summer Gathering Week number 6, You-nity. The question for today is name a Unity champion of the past. We got some really great responses, and when we edit the video, we'll throw them in there. A lot of it surrounds a vibration and music, and then people that all been around us, our family, our friends, our mentors that we meet along the way, just to name a few. So notably, there have been many people who preach worldwide unity, like John Lennon with his song Imagine. There's a deeper meaning to this imagine. Unity starts with you. It's your world. John's song Imagine is really trying to get you to imagine it's your world. And you have the potential for unity in the song, music, vibration, or palms of your hands. Psalm and palms are the same word. So although today we will visit the past, when we should be working on the now, know that these people were trying to tell you the same thing. It's you and it's now. Glad you could join us. What's happening in the sky today? If you remember, the moon represents the watchful eye of the mother, or your internal eye that wants only love. The moon and Mercury's in retrograde, and they're going to align exactly today at 6:04 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. So if you're getting memories or little things that are trying to send you a sign that doesn't feel good, then know that it's Mercury and the moon. And look where they're at. They're in Leo. So the sun's still in Leo, so is Black Moon, and it's in the 9th house currently. But that 9th house is for us here in Windsor. All right, that's number one. And then number two, we have Venus with Juno. So Venus represents all beings, insects, animals, people, everyone. And Juno is the earth and mother. And it's in Cancer, your aura. So your vibration, your actions towards being loving should be apparent. So remember, forgiveness and love are the key. So with this moon and Mercury, it could potentially be surrounding family members, the love of animals and insects. And then third thing we're just mentioning is right exactly at the time we're meeting at 333 today, Mother Mary and the North Node was lined up with the IC and the MC, where spirit resides, where she's going to be stepping on the snake in Libra Aries. So that was pretty interesting for today. So, but remember, on November the 27th, Eris, Isis, Virgin Mary steps on the snake. So we made up this little meme of truth for you to visualize. I mean, really sit with it. Because when you realize you control how the moon and the stars shine on you, then it's really important. It's you. You have to imagine it's you. You are the one that creates the unity because you have to visualize it. When you watch others making visuals of how to do it, that's like you're relying on them to do it and you're not doing your duty. And you got to feel like this meme that it's you, that you are the one controlling your world because you are. You are a goddess. You are a god. You are both. So feel the love deep inside that awaits you to join in this meme. You will master this feeling as we are being reeled in with love. This is revelation. So a sister who watched as a nest was built over her entrance, where she could see through the window up top her door, and she could watch these birds every day in the nest before she left the house. She sent a message. The birds that had 3 chicks, the mother bird left the nest the day after the blue moon. I believe the hatching and then empty nesting during the lunar phase is profound. So she noticed how they left on a cycle. We are the stars. We are the wandering stars. We are the moon. And that's what illuminates us, what enlightens us, what communicates with us. So stepping on the snake is meant with love and to leave the snake alive. As you can see on the 369, you see that they show a snake that is coiled, right? It's a vibration. Whereas when you're in Leo and you're mastering your heart, look at the snake. It's in a calm position. So there's a difference between a calm snake and one that's ready to strike. It looks more like a sine wave. It looks like it's ready to release its energy. So we got to be careful when we make images, because we're not going to kill a snake. So this iconography is not as beautiful as it should be. So while we're thinking about unity, we got to think about it with love and calming the vibration into something that is more subtle and less noisy. How do you attenuate your noise? Well, you got to do it with love, right? You get rid of the noise, you send love, and then you attenuate it. You flatten out the snake. That's what's meant by stepping on the snake. It's you who wants to create that loving image, that loving vibration. Right? So snake in the Bible, started off with this image here, because here they're showing it again, right? They're showing how the waters out there are rough, your karmic waves that you've left behind, and you're trying to kill that snake so you can go with your spiritual boat. But that image is not a good image to me. Anyway, snake in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, chapter 3, the fall. When the woman saw the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate it. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they realized they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. The fruit of truth. The Genesis talks out of both sides of its mouth. Eating from the tree of wisdom is what we want. But wisdom is the love of the divine, the love of within. So that comes after revelation, the total understanding. But to understand the difference between a vibration, a noise, and wisdom, we have to flatten out those vibrations that are noise, that are not loving. So from using the Egyptian walls in Genesis, I asked AI what the logic is between the two of them. It says, if we apply Platonic logic, the serpent in Genesis 3 and the snake symbolism in Egyptian mythology could be seen as manifestations of the same archetypal idea, the duality of wisdom and deception. Both cultures use snake to symbolize complex concepts that have both positive and negative aspects. So it is all about our vibrations. It really, really is. The snake just represents how we can get affected by our vibrations. So You-nity influencers, part of the video we did on Helena Blavatsky, there's a couple of excerpts, small videos here that I want to show you. This one's only a couple minutes long. It's all about bringing the world to unity, isn't it? Let's do a quick comparison between Helena and meet Myrtle and Charles Fillmore, founders of You-nity Worldwide Ministries, which is a spiritual organization rooted philosophy, emphasizing the power of positive thinking, prayer, and inner transformation. They founded it with a focus on spiritual healing and the unity of all people through the practice of love. Although they did not have direct alignments with Eris, like Helena did, their charts did have notable aspects with Eris, aka the divine essence. They have a lot of similarities with Helena, and mostly subtle, but still a few important differences. Let's quickly go through the similarities. Philosophical focus. Blavatsky focused on the theosophy and esoteric wisdom, while Fillmore's emphasized unity and Christian mysticism. Founding work. Both were founders of significant spiritual movements, with Blavatsky co-founding the Theosophical Society and the Fillmores co-founding the You-nity Church. Key teachings. Blavatsky taught spiritual evolution and reincarnation, while Fillmore's teachings centered on spiritual healing and positive thinking. Influences. Blavatsky was influenced by Eastern philosophy and the unseen, while the Fillmores drew on Christianity and a New Thought movement. Writings. Both have authored significant works, with Blavatsky's The Secret Doctrine and the Fillmore's Metaphysical Bible Dictionary being notable examples. Approach to God. Blavatsky emphasized universal brotherhood and divine wisdom, while Fillmore saw God as a principle and divine mind. Ethical principles. Both emphasize ethical principles such as compassion, love, and understanding through their expressions and context, though their expressions and context differed. And now for some differences. The philosophical roots. Blavatsky's teachings are rooted in theosophy and influenced by Eastern and non-visible essence traditions, while Fillmore's You-nity teachings are influenced by Christian mysticism and the New Thought movement. View on reincarnation. Blavatsky emphasized reincarnation and karma, where Fillmore focused more on spiritual growth and less on reincarnation. Approach to healing. Blavatsky's approach centered on spiritual evolution and inner wisdom, while Fillmore's emphasized practical application, affirmative prayer, and meditation. Bible interpretations. While both interpreted the Bible symbolically, Blavatsky's understanding was more esoteric, and Fillmore's was more allegorical and metaphysical. Organizational structure. The Theosophical Society founded by Blavatsky had a more hierarchical structure, while the You-nity Church founded by Fillmore was more congregational. Primary geographic focus. Blavatsky's work had a global reach with strong ties to India and Eastern traditions, while Fillmore's focus was primarily Western, particularly in American spirituality. The wisdom you are witnessing today should make you complete. If you need be, watch this over and over again, until you come to the realization that you are the chosen one. Stay in your heart center and unite with the wisdom of love, which is one of the same as unity. Just like gold, you are infinite, and whatever truth you gain remains untarnished with you for all your journeys. It's all about one love. So I just wanted to show you that, the most powerful love that we get is from Eris. And that is when we go through a pandemic. That's when we go through a phoenix rising. We showed you last week, I think it was last week or the week before, just even Mother Teresa and how her connection with Juno and the sun, Mary Magdalene and the sun, and how she was committed to helping everyone she could. So this is another just 2-minute clip on Helena Blavatsky's chart showing you her divine connection. She pushed that for unity is wisdom and spiritual evolution. That means reincarnation, lives over lives. We get smarter and more wise. When I say smarter, I mean more wise, not empirical knowledge. In other words, a high IQ, right? A high IQ means nothing. It's how wise are you in your journeys on this wheel. Can astrology prove an enlightened one? If you truly want to know someone, you need to look at their natal chart with a divine eye. Your natal chart is your report card, your DNA. Does Helena wear the mark of one who has lifted her veil? Let's have a quick look at her chart. Look at Eris in her chart, the queen without a king, a woman who's never ever been born, Virgin Mary, the winged woman in the sky, the phoenix that rises with the sun, you, every 558 years. Eris is with the south node, that which eclipses, rather occults, the sun and the moon. Eris, the divine feminine, and the south node are on the energetic cusp, a harmonic fifth of Capricorn and Aquarius. Her birth of 1831 is a station of the cross year, when Eris meets with the sun on the cross. In Helena's case, she was on the cross with Eris. This is important, folks. Remember this. As November 27th, we have Mary stepping on the snake, on the cusp of Pisces and Aries, for a later discussion. Opposite is her sun, with the head of the snake, the moon's north node. She also has the fire of Mars and Saturn, Father Time, on her side, in Leo, the mighty heart of the lion. Further to this, she has Juno, rather Mary Magdalene, exactly rising in the east, with the leadership of Gemini. Notably, Vesta of the Vestal Virgins aligned with the brightest star in the night sky, Sirius, the metaphysical sun. You can't make this stuff up. To have both Marys and the sun on the cross is what is depicted on the Egyptian walls after graduating from the weighing of the heart ceremony. She is connected. The word is was deliberately used as she only left the visible briefly. We are infinite. Your chart shows you year over year, life over life, the choices that we make and what we imagine our world to be. So if you imagine with your heart and just feel like that shot went in, just like Michael Jordan. He knows that shot goes in before he takes it. He feels it. He celebrates it inside. You get goosebumps. We need to do that with our images of what we want the world to look like. That's the true form of prayer, to imagine as clearly as you can how beautiful your world you want it to be. So seeking unity in the Bible, book of Matthew, chapter 7, ask, seek, knock, verse 7 through 12. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open for you. For everyone who asks receives. The one who seeks finds. And to the one who knocks, the door will be opened. Which of you, if your son asks for bread, will you give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will you give him a snake? If you then, though you are evil, know how to give gifts to your children, how much more will your Father in heaven give good gifts to those who ask him? So in everything, do to others what you would have them do to you. For this sums up the law and the prophets. So although there's a little bit of misinterpretations in here, you don't have to ask a God, you don't have to ask a father, you don't have to ask a mother. You got to visualize it with your own mind. You got to be that meme. You have to understand that you are the one that creates your world. This is known. And this is what Blavatsky taught. Helena is somebody who was very wise for her time. And the Fillmores, no doubt, also are as well. Myrtle and Charles. We're trying to get people to know that they are one and we are all one. And that's all I have for today.